people adore someone or something in their life above anyone or anyone else. This phrase is an idiom in the English language. Idioms are a phrase or expression that typically presents a figurative or non-literal meaning attached to a phrase. So turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, who's the apple?
Who's the apple
of your eye?
of your eye?
The origin of this idiom can be dated back all the way to the biblical days, where the term was first used in the book of Psalms as a descriptive phrase. After that time, this idiom has since appeared in many books, novels, and plays, such as people like Shakespeare. This phrase is inherited its meaning due to the importance of the eyesight. The apple of the eye was a common reference for referring to the pupil of one's eye, because this part of the eye was thought to be round and solid, just like an apple. During this time period, the eyesight was considered very cherished and valuable due to the lack of medical care. You'll find that when you read the Bible, the term apple of my eye is listed in 5 different scriptures. But we see here in our text, Solomon is writing a love letter to this Shulamite woman, whom he finds very attractive. He uses the term lily of the valley, lily among the thorns, where he describes her beauty and the fragrance of her elegance. This Shulamite woman then comes back and replies to him in verse 3, describing Solomon as an apple tree amongst the trees in the woods. She says that he sat down under his shadow with great delight, and fruit is sweet to my taste. This Shulamite woman is referencing Solomon in this way as a symbolic representation of how it should be when we're communing with Christ. The Shulamite woman sitting under the shadow of the tree shows that when we're connected with Christ, He'll provide us with a refreshing shade, and He will supply all of our needs. We see this example first in 1 Kings chapter 19, when the prophet Elijah was under the juniper tree. It's very interesting that this Shulamite woman talks about a fruit tree growing in the forest. For this is, number one, unusual. Apple trees are not usually found in a forest, but when they are called a wild apple tree, or others might call it a crab apples. Wild apple trees grow from seeds, and each of them are genetically unique. They are often more tougher and more adapted to their local communities. They have there's over 2,500 varieties of apples. You have apple trees, it usually takes them about 4 to 5 years to begin to bear some fruit. But yet the average apple has about 10 seeds within them. People who love apples, they tend to be more outspoken, charismatic, and yet very enthusiastic. But we see that most apple trees are still handpicked and plucked today. When looking at our text here, the different facts, and we look at different facts of an apple tree, we find that the phrase, the apple of my eye, then becomes, give us a question saying, what has caught your eye? The Bible tells us in Luke 11, 34 through 36, your eyes are a lamp unto your body. Therefore, when your eye is good, your whole body is full of light. But when your eye is bad, your whole body is filled with darkness. The point Jesus is making here is referring to a personal experience. What does a lamp do? Well, it guides you down a right path. See, the lamp, and so if the lamp of your body is your eye, then it is the type of eye you have that will determine how you will walk and how you see things. If you have a good eye, then things will, of course, appear good. Then if you have a bad eye, things will appear bad unto you. Jesus reaches the heart of the issue and tells us that what we allow into our lives through our eyes and ears, that determines how we view the rest of the world. When I was growing up in Hayes Chapel, we used to sing this old hymn called, "Oh, be careful, little eyes." He used to say, "Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. For the Father up above is looking down in love. So be careful, little eyes, what you see." The eyes are a doorway or gate to the mind, and whatever one's mind continually thinks upon, a person will eventually do, which is the way we must guard our eyes. It's important that we guard our eyes so that we don't lose focus and we keep Christ as the apple of our eye. Guarding our eyes may look more like refraining from watching certain shows, movies, or what we see on the internet. For doing so will sustain ourselves against the attacks of the enemy. Guarding our eyes can look like not allowing our present situation to affect you or make you lose sight of God's promises. A lot of times we like to give up on God, and our faith level shrinks because we focus too much on the trials we are facing, instead of focusing on how the Lord will bring us through despite what it looks like. For the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, for we walk by faith and not by sight. When it comes to the Lord, in order for us to focus on Him and keep Him the apple of our eye, we must we must look at Him through a spiritual lens, which is the product produced by faith. Put it on a